Full and uncut versions available on Patreon. Check in the description below.
Greetings once again, Pokemaniacs. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more of the Pokemon Adventures manga. The story of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Previously, as our heroes trained so that Platinum could take on Gardenia, the gym leader, their Pokemon evolved into their secondary evolution in the presence of, unbeknownst to them, the champion of the Sinnoh region, Cynthia. Cynthia was in the area in order to help free Rad Rickshaw, who had mistakenly gotten caught up within the machinations of Team Galactic. And speaking of which, after Platinum's defeat of Gardenia and a little bit of bicycle training, they arrive at the base of Mount Cornet, where none other than the leader of Team Galactic, Cyrus, was also there in order to take in, as he calls it, the energy of the area, causing two of his Pokemon, delivered by one of his lieutenants, to evolve. But Platinum and the gang disturb his communion with nature, and so he attacks them, coming dangerously close to burying them alive and killing them in the process. But thanks to the Luxio from before, now a Luxray helping them out, Diamond is able to free Platinum and Pearl. Later, Platinum learns about contests, and while at first entering by accident, once she's called out for demeaning contests, he decides to enter for real, looking to prove herself and her family name. With the help of Pearl and Diamond, she's able to participate, but not just take it seriously, but also remember to have fun in the contests as well, which is reflected in her Pokemon, allowing her to win, at least the normal rank. We see participating in the Master rank none other than the gym leader Fantina, who takes care of a couple of saboteurs towards Platinum. And when Platinum accepts her ribbon, he wants Pearl and Diamond to be involved as well. They constantly get kicked out of the gym whenever they try to cheer her on. But in terms of this, she wants the acknowledgement that it was a team effort. And though she does still try to keep a bit of her own distance from the two, this little bit of acknowledgement might finally set them on the path of understanding that they're already friends. What'll happen next? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, Chapter 15. Crowded by Krogunk and advanced on by Abra, Part 1. Oh, we see, I believe it's Paka, observing Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Him on a headset communicator saying, "We finally caught up to them. Finally. We caught up to them. Finally. Can you see them from your position, Uji? At last we have located the only daughter of the Berlitz family, the heiress we were entrusted with protecting." Uji says, "I see him, Paka. I see him. There they are, right in front of the Heart Home Grand Hotel entrance. And there are the two scoundrels accompanying her. Good thing we learned of them during our pursuit. Incredible. Who'd have thought mere children could pull off such an elaborate abduction? Oh, God." I hope that gets cleared up fast. Paka says, "Don't let your guard down, Uji. These children snatched the Berlitz daughter from right under our noses. They could be working for a powerful secret organization, clever enough to employ these operatives as camouflage. Remain vigilant." Which, that's unfortunate. I mean, all things considered, they're on the right track. They're just off the mark from when it was going to happen. I can't blame them for going with the worst case scenario, because who would believe such a mistake could happen so easily? Okay, we see the positions of Paka and Uji as they're getting ready to close in on the trio. Uji says, "We'll intercept them from both sides, Paka." While Paka says, "Roger that, Uji." And they get ready to move, saying, "Ready, set." But as they move in, who should appear before our heroes? None other than Fantina, having come down on her Driftblim. She came down on a Driftblim, dog! This causes Paka and Uji to redirect a little bit as Fantina appears before Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, saying, "Sorry to make you wait, mes amis. permit me to introduce myself. I am the alluring, soulful dancer, Fantina of Hearthome. Parker says, what was that? Another weirdo just joined the party. that is literally the name of the game with these kids. Fantina says, I am so sorry to detain you on your way out, but I must speak with you since you have won the cool ribbon in the normal rank. Fantina would be from, what was France in terms of the games? We had France. Oh, in the Japanese version, she speaks with an English accent. So would she be like from Unova? No, Kalos. There we go. She might be from Kalos. I love the implications based on certain aspects of characters that they're from different parts of the Pokemon world. That is kind of fun. Pearl says, oh, it was nothing. Fantina holds Platinum's hand saying, your performance was fantastic from beginning to end. Oh, she's so nice. Platinum shines as well as her Prinplup saying, oh, you are too kind. And Diamond, chowing down on some ice cream, says, lady's practically glowing because she's getting praise from a master rank contestant. Fantina says, there are beaucoup de kate. There are beaucoup de categories in the contest. Wow, you are going hard with the French here. You simply must give an other one a try sometime. As Platinum and the others make their way, Platinum says, will do, now if you'll excuse us. But Fantina seems to notice something, saying, wait un moment. Oh, it's like she senses the presence of Paka and Uji, looking to both sides where they hid, and telling the trio, I have the funny feeling we are being watched. It must be those two terrible dames. I think they are making the plan to trick you again. N'est-ce pas? I had better escort you to the edge of le village. Let us run rapidement. See, I love that. I like that she actually is like, she knows of the two who tried to sabotage Platinum, so her heart's in the right place. I love the misunderstandings going on here, because everybody has good intentions all around. It's just very misguided. As Paka sees them run, he says, they're getting away, Uji, after them. Uji says, I'm on it, Paka. And with lightning fast speed, they start to move in as Fantina escorts the kids, saying, oh no, they are chasing behind us. And as Paka and Uji move in, he says, attention, they're attempting the pencil move. If that is how it is going to be, Drifblim. And Drifblim takes all of the kids and lifts them all into the air with Fantina, causing Paka and Uji to run into each other while they groan in pain from having smacked their heads into each other. Paka watches as they float off, saying, oh no, they took to the air. Everyone is airborne now. And, is Diamond scared of heights? I mean, then again, all things considered, I'd be scared of that too. As Fantina hangs from the bottom of Drifblim, she says, this must be your first time to be riding a flying Pokemon, n'est-ce pas? Platinum says, yes. Well, Pearl looks around saying, it's awesome. Something catches Fantina's eyes, and she says, I have un bon idea. We will head this way. Platinum questions, which way? Fantina says, to the Lost Tower. Oh, are these cemeteries? The Lost Tower. Is this like Lavender Town? Yeah, a resting place of deceased Pokemon. Okay. Yeah, the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town. House of Memories in Kanto. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't remember a place called the House of Memories. I just never really acknowledged it because in the original games, it doesn't really look that notable, but it's a lot more elaborate in the next generation, another place of rest for Pokemon. And then you have Mount Pyre and Hoenn, another place of rest. Interesting. And Unova has Celestial Tower. Oh, better not go too deep into that one. Interesting. And so, amongst all these headstones, Diamond and Pearl decide to practice their routine. Pearl saying, speaking of Pokemon, Diamond saying, speaking of Pokemon. Pearl says, that contest at Hearthome was really something, huh? Diamond says, it sure was. Pearl says, is that the only city that holds super contests? Where can we compete in a higher rank? Diamond says, we could always go back to Hearthome City, but it's your skills that are rank. Oh, God. Diamond has a smug, dismissive look, and Pearl smacks him, saying, how about a little support? We got here without a hitch. And check it out. There's Amity Square. Oh, Amity Square. Thomas questions Amity Square. Pearl pets his Monferno saying, yep, that's a plaza where people take their Pokemon for walks together. And, huh? What are you crying for? And Pearl and Diamond, cries to Monferno saying, it's so sad that these Pokemon can't go for walks without a tether. Pearl says, how can you mix those words up? Oh, tether and together. Oh, God. And Fantina loves the routine, laughing hysterically. Oh, they're sitting on a little blanket. And she says, ooh la la, that was très amusement. Amusant? Amusant. Pearl says, is this really the best time to be joking around? Oh, you see Murkrows and, what are they, Miss Magius? Mischievous. There you go, Mischievous. Miss Magius are the evolution. Pearl says, well, we're in the middle of being chased by freaks? Oh, God, freaks. Fantina pets a Miss Magius. A Mischievous. I keep wanting to call them Miss Magius. A Mischievous saying, do not worry. I train here all the time. It is like my second mansion. Second mansion? You train at a cemetery. Good to know. Then again, I went for EXP at Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, so who am I to judge? She tells them, when you reach the top floor, you will be totalmente safe. Enter Paka and Uji. Paka saying, looks like they went in there, right, Uji? Uji says, that's right, Paka, into Lost Tower. As they make their way inside, Uji says, they say this is where Pokemon souls rest after they die. Sure is a creepy place, huh? But then they catch notice of something. Oh, they notice that they're surrounded. Paka calls out, who's there? Uji says, show yourselves. And moving out from behind the headstones are the members of Team Galactic. God, those friggin' haircuts make them look so creepy. Oh, they're moving in because, right, they... Oh man, it's probably for the best that Platinum's moving without them. They found them so fast though. Paka and Uji say, who are these people? Meanwhile, back at the base, Saturn says, finally found them. Good work, minions. You found the Blitz girl's bodyguard right here in Sinnoh. How much do we need to fund our nefarious plans? Just outright calling it nefarious. Let me think. How about 150 million, right? Yes, in that case. Oh, what are they building? I'll hold the gold for a ransom of 15 billion. Perfect. That ought to cover our expenses. Give your report. I see. Naturally. So you only found these two. What about the girl? He must be hiding around here somewhere. Are they, communicating telepathically? Because nobody's really responding, but he's responding like he's getting some answers from someone. As he accesses a control panel, he says, do whatever it takes to smoke her out. Do you understand? Do what you do best. Okay, and we see one of the Team Galactic members with an earpiece bring out 2 Pokeballs. He sets them down, leaving Paka and Uji bewildered. What the heck? And then a drone comes up and unleashes the Pokemon? Oh, is it like some kind of remote access? That's a weird way of doing things. A voice from within the drone says, first a little warm-up. Uji says, is that a speaker and a camera? Paka says, it appears the speaker gives orders to the Pokemon while the camera monitors the scene, Uji. That means their trainer must be in a remote location, Paka. Oh, I guess it's Uji saying that. And Paka says, the kidnappers, they're trying to thwart us. I mean, it's not quite that, but okay. They must be issuing orders from the top of Lost Tower. Well, I for one won't go easy on them just because they're children. Let's go, Uji. Uji says, my plan exactly, Paka. Okay, so Paka has a little bagworm Pokemon, right? What is that? Burmy? Huh, Burmy. I actually don't remember this Pokemon at all. That's weird. Huh. And I know Buizel. So Paka has a Burmy and Uji has a Buizel. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that the Team Galactic sent out Croagunk and Abra. So are these Saturn's Croagunk and Abra? I have to assume so. Saturn over the drone says, Croagunk, poison jab. And Croagunk does just that to Burmy. Ooh, oh dang. Utterly decimating it, breaking its cloak. Saturn says, I broke its cloak in no time. Paka says, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Oh, as Burmy reassembles its cloak instantly. Saturn says, I see now. If you break its cloak, it just rebuilds it with whatever is handy. Uji Apaka over the column says, bingo. We take our work very seriously, and we will retrieve our girl. That's what pros like us do. Prepare to have the stuffing beat out of you with style. He tells Burmy to use hidden power. Oh, a good one. Meanwhile, Uji, I think he's just thinking, or is he telling his Weasel? Well, he says, the enemy's crow gunk is under pressure from our Parker's Burmy. This is our chance to use dig and launch a surprise attack from behind. And Weasel does just that, going for dig and popping out behind Krogunk. But Krogunk seems to have seen it coming. Uji says, what? It saw it coming? Parker says Krogunk's special ability is anticipation. Careful, Uji. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we are placing her ribbons like right in a section underneath. Okay, we're getting into some good action though. I like actually seeing Parker and Uji do their thing. I thought they'd just be one-off joke characters, but they're actually doing something with them. I'm glad. Alright, chapter 16. Crowded by Krogunk and advanced on by Abra, part 2. Ooh, Saturn has Krogunk use Sucker Punch on Weasel as Uji calls out for his Pokemon. Ooh, but Weasel hits the ceiling hard. Dang! I mean, Krogunk's always been a very capable Pokemon in every iteration that I've ever seen. I do enjoy a good Krogunk, but it's the evolution that I don't really care for, if I'm being honest. Like, if it wasn't for what it evolves into, I'd like Krogunk a lot more. Because, I'm sorry, I just do not like the way Toxicroak looks. I feel like I'm the most judgmental about this generation, but I just don't like Toxicroak. Like, maybe if there was like another evolution that looked a little bit more interesting, but nah, I don't really like Toxicroak. I'm sorry. If it's gonna evolve, then it's just like, nah, I'm good. But Weasel is down and out. As Saturn says, that settles it. You tried to beat my poison-type Krogunk with Dig, a super effective ground-type attack, but you didn't know that Krogunk's special ability is Anticipation. Or I should say, his special ability is Anticipation. I feel like I'm not going to remember to not edit that. Weasel hits the ground and it hits it hard. Saturn saying over the drone, is the fight over already? Don't let me win that easily. Oh man, Saturn is a piece of work. I didn't know he was like this. Meanwhile, back at the top of the tower, everybody can kind of hear the racket from down below. Pearl saying, what the heck is going on down there? I hear the sounds of battle, and I feel a rumbling. A rumble in the jungle. Fantita says, I'm not surprised. There is nothing to worry about, mes amis. This kind of thing happens all the time at Lost Tower. Pearl questions, really? Fantita says, this tower is said to be the final resting place of the Pokemon. The group that people come here to pay their respects to the Pokemon who sont mortes. How you say passon. I hope I'm saying even remotely half of this correctly. But many wild Pokemon live in the area too, so the trainers often get into the battles with them. That must be the ruckus you are hearing. Not to worry, no. Not to worry now. How about performing another comedy for moi? Pearl says, you like the last one? Diamond overjoyed says, why not, Pearl? Fantina's a great audience, and she laughs a lot. Speaking of Pokemon, Pearl says, well, if you insist. Pearl says there are lots of towers in different regions. Diamond says there sure are. For instance, Lost Tower is right here. Pearl says, and then there's Battle Tower, Pokemon Tower. Diamond says, I tried climbing them, but they tower over me. And Fantina just breaks down laughing. Platinum says, excuse me, if you're going to stay up here and rehearse, is it alright if I explore the tower a bit? Pearl questions, all by yourself, lady? Platinum says, yes, I'm rather curious about the resting place for Pokemon. I'd like to learn more. I actually do love her studious side. The idea of a young girl, who hasn't experienced much, just wanting to experience as much of the world as she can. Platinum says, that is with your approval. Fantina thinks for a moment, saying, ooh la la, I do not see a problem. As long as you are L'interior of the tower? Oh, I do not know that word. That is, wow. Oh man, they went hard with the French. Okay. Oh, I was expecting like the standard French pepperings, but y'all going pretty hard with this one. But Platinum is overjoyed, saying, really? I'm off then. And she makes her way down the tower with Primplup. Pearl says, call out if you need us. While Fantina says to Diamond, perform for me another comedy while we wait on the suite. Diamond says, what? Meanwhile, down with Taka and Uji, Taka calls out, this way, Uji, leave Weasel and follow me up here. Wait, leave Weasel? Come on, don't just leave your Pokemon. Tanner says, you're changing the battleground? Is this an attempt to launch a counterattack? Good luck with that, as Abra uses teleport to get in front of Taka and his Burmy. Oh, and Saturn has Abra use Fire Punch on Burmy. Forgot how capable an Abra can be when it's not just using teleport. So Taka makes his way back to Uji, saying it's using teleport. Oh, and then Abra's there again, using Ice Punch this time. Man, Burmy's getting the hands. The Abra's just teleporting all over the place. Saturn says, my Abra can get ahead of you no matter where you run, and my Krogunk is ready for you on the ground. Why won't you just accept that you don't have a chance of winning? What a waste of time. I should be searching for that girl instead. Huh? What's this? Is that... Oh, and he notices floor up in the tower. Platinum is watching the battle. Saturn says, found her. The Berlitz heiress is hiding on the next floor. Meanwhile, on the next floor up, Platinum says to Primplup, it's just like Fantina said. People who came to see the graves are battling wild Pokemon down there. Oh, yeah, because she doesn't see another trainer. Did the rest of Team Galactic just beat feet out of there? Are they hanging out at the base just in case anyone tries to escape? So it's just Saturn's drone and his Pokemon. That's wild. Platinum moves around towards the stairs, saying, let's take a closer look. While Saturn says, Krogunk, Abra, quit stalling and dispose of that Burmy at once. And so, oh god, Burmy just, oh man, this poor Pokemon. And as Burmy's little cloak gets flown to tatters, Saturn says, that's the second time I've destroyed his cloak, and there's nothing left in the vicinity for it to make another. Taka says, Burmy's cloak got ripped off, but this time, that was our intention, right, Uji? Uji says, that's right. Saturn questions, what do you mean, your intention? Hey, those leaves are getting in my way. How come they're staying aloft? It must be because... Oh, and we see Weasel down below, blowing up the leaves as well as the drone. Okay, yeah, if you can obscure the drone, then Saturn can't give orders. Saturn says that Weasel is blowing all those leaves up from below. It's using its tail like a propeller, as if it's swimming. Uji says, oh no. Saturn says, is that why they left it behind on the first floor? Uji says, bingo. Did you really think we'd abandon our Pokemon just because it was out of energy? We're not heartless, you know? Okay, I was kind of questioning that because I'm like, leave your Weasel? What? Nah, they had a plan. I like that. Falca says, time to end this party. As the leaves blown up by Weasel obscure the camera of Saturn's drone. Saturn says, darn it, I can't see what's happening down there, as the drone then runs into Krogunk. Oh, dang. Taka says, that's what we're counting on. Uji says, now close your eyes, and it's lights out for you. And Burmy unleashes, I guess, hidden power again on both Abra and Krogunk, who can't really do anything because they don't have orders. Platinum watches from up above, saying, what a battle. Who would imagine an impromptu battle between mourners and wild Pokemon would be so accomplished? And Primplump just nods. And Platinum makes her way, saying, let's go back upstairs and tell everyone about it. As Paka and Uji high-five, Paka says, we did it, Uji. Uji says, we did it, Paka. We freed the girl from those diabolical fiends. Paka says, yes, but I'm all tuckered out now. Let's take a quick breather before we head upstairs. While Uji says, I'm with you, Paka. Meanwhile, oh, Saturn, you didn't even lose to the main characters. Then again, don't get it twisted. Paka and Uji, very capable. Like, damn, that was a good battle. But Saturn is seething, saying, I lost? How could I, the great Savin, lose a battle? He starts banging on the monitor saying, I'll never, 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 never forgive them for this. Oh, he is throwing a tantrum. He points to one of the grunts saying, our research reveals the destination is Mount Cornet. Come, my minions, let us use all the means at our disposal to block the path leading to the northern end of Route 210. Then they'll have no choice but to head for Veilstone City. And since that's where our headquarters are located, in the Galactic Veilstone building, we'll really be able to give them something to cry about. All who oppose me shall live to regret it. And a figure approaches him from behind. It's Mars saying, would you keep it down? Savin turns saying, oh, it's you, Mars. You better not cross that line. This is my strategy room. Oh, Mars backs up, saying, what a pain. All right. So Savin says, those are the rules. Mars says, but it's okay now because you stepped over the line yourself, right? Oh, how so? What did he step over the line? They both pause as if he knows he's been called out. Huh, how did he step over the line? He gestures to the device being built. Oh, it has the Electivire in it that Mars stole. Savin says, before you pick a fight with me, fulfill your duties. Any progress on procuring a power supply? Things are going as planned on my side. The galactic bomb is nearly complete. Bomb? Oh god. Plus, I'm searching for funds for this project as we speak. Mars says, I'm getting my work done. Don't worry about me. I'm in the process of transferring all the electricity I stole from the Valley Windworks with my Electivire. Oh, okay. So the Electivire absorbed the energy and that's how she transported it. Interesting. Isn't that painful to the Pokemon though? Savin says, I see. Galactic bomb. I don't know how to feel about that. Meanwhile, up top in the Lost Tower, Fantina says, wow, really? An impressive battle? Platinum says, oh, it was. I'm so glad I got to explore the tower. Meanwhile, Diamond and Pearl are panting, Pearl saying, good for you, having fun while we had to dish up endless comedy, and Diamond's cheeks are, puffed up from all the slapping, saying, I hurt all over. Fantina says, so, Miss Shetty, do you find Pokemon battles amusing? Platinum says, yes, not at first, actually, but now that I have 2 gym battles under my belt. And Fantina seems to process this for a moment. Like, wait, what? She's like, oh! That blank expression feels like it says a million things. She, brings out her Drifblim saying, perhaps you should fly to the next village over, just to be in security. The time has come for me to return to Hot Home anyway. You may borrow my Drifblim, except you certainly can without exception. Oh no, it's Pearl who says, really, no, we can't accept your Drifblim. And Fantina says, except you certainly can without exception. And she starts laughing at her own joke, saying, why kidding me? No, Pearl just like, what is with this lady? Wait, so wait, how did the gym battles go here? Wasn't Fantina next in line? Are they not gonna battle? Are they gonna battle later? How does this go? Oh, she's not. The next city is Veilstone Gym with Maylene. Right. I think that's about as far as I got in the anime. Fantina. Oh, okay. So she's the 5th gym leader you fight. Oh, okay. I did not realize that. So you only encounter her because of the contest. And then later, you actually battle her. Interesting. That's actually kind of cool. So you got more of a chance to get to know Fantina more than that other gym leaders. Because I do remember her from the anime. I could have sworn that wasn't an official gym battle. Oh, okay. That really threw me for a second there, because I thought, I was like, oh, we're going to battle her at the Heart Home Gym, because I know there's a gym here. But no. Interesting. Fantina says, Drifblim will return to me after it has flown you to the next village. And as the kids take off on Drifblim, Pearl calls out, thanks for all your help, Fantina. Platinum says, we'll take good care of it. While Diamond says, thanks for everything, Fantina. And they probably have the best relationship with this gym leader so far. I like that they've been cool with all the gym leaders up until this point. Fantina says, I look forward to face you in a gym battle someday. Platinum says, excuse me, did you say something? Fantina says, not one word, machete. And as they float off on Driftbloom, they say goodbye. I wonder why she didn't want them to know that she's a gym leader. Maybe she didn't want to ruin the surprise. I wonder. Well, I guess we'll find out eventually. Alright, Chapter 17. Knowledge of the Unknown. Part 1. Okay, more unknown action. Seems like every region's got to have a little unknown. Right, as the gang continues to float on Driftbloom, Driftbloom eventually lands, lets everybody down, and takes off back to Fantina. I'll kind of miss Fantina. She is actually really fun. They wave Driftbloom off, Diamond saying thanks for the lift, Driftbloom. And as they make their way to town, Pearl says, so this is Solaceon Town. There we go, Solaceon. To get back to Mount Cornet, we have to go north from here towards Celestic Town. And then it's west from there. As they make their way to the city, Platinum says, when I heard we'd have to begin the ascent from Sinnoh region's eastern side, I thought it would be a long journey. Pearl says, me too. Looks like it's not so far after all. Platinum says, let's hurry though. It's early in the day yet, and we still have a ways to... But something approaches from behind. Are those the unknown? Or did something just rush past them? Oh, okay. Someone was taking a picture. Were they trying to find the unknown? Because whoever it was races past them. Platinum says, what was that sound? Pearl says, someone took our picture. Paparazzi? Shoutout repeats, took our picture. Platinum thinks, who would dare take our picture without asking permission? This can't be good. My father and Professor Rowan assigned me these 2 bodyguards to keep me safe. They're my age, so it looks like we're just 3 friends taking a trip together. But despite their protection, it seems I'm being followed. Wait, you're only just now realizing that? Oh, God. But who knows? It might... Dang. I don't like seeing her nervous now, and it's good that she's on guard, but at the same time, Pearl says, don't just stand there, lady, let's go after them. And they all take off. Is it a hotel? As they make their way to the building with naturally Diamond and his Pokemon lagging behind, Pearl says they went inside. But as they get to the building, Pearl looks at the sign on the front saying the Pokemon News. They're printing our photo in a newspaper? He bangs on the door saying, excuse me, I'd like to speak with someone. But there's no answer. He then says, that does it. Chimler, do your stuff. But as Monferno gets ready to burn open the door, suddenly a cowgirl goes bursting out the front door saying, extra, read all about it, extra. And she's just throwing the papers out there in the air. Diamond tries to grab them. Platinum is at a bit of a loss while Pearl hits the ground, and he hits it hard. Diamond shows the paper to Platinum saying, the newspaper's already printed the photo they just took of us. Pearl goes after the girl saying, what gives you the right? The cowgirl says, hey, they're the people from that photo. Oh no, they're gonna sue us, but good. Suddenly someone comes in saying, what seems to be the trouble here? It's a rancher saying, I'm the one who took your photo. You got a problem with that? And he's riding on a Gastrodon. There you go, a Gastrodon. EC version. Oh yeah, I just learned that there's different versions of them. That still throws me a little. I thought the kind of blue and green one was the regular variant, and then the pink one was the shiny one. I didn't realize it's just that there are different versions depending on where you get them from. That's actually kind of cool. The cowgirl comes up saying, Daddy, I keep telling you not to print photos without permission. Now they're gonna report us. The farmer says, call me editor-in-chief, not Daddy. He then points his pitchfork at them saying, you 3. Pearl says, yes? The farmer says, I imagine you were taken by surprise when I snapped that photo of y'all. Allow me to set the record straight. You 3 just have to be in the way. Platinum questions, you mean you're trying to take a picture of something else? The farmer says, precisely. He shows them the picture of what seems to be unknown, saying the picture I want to print in my newspaper was this. Diamond sees it saying, oh, I get it. There's something floating above us. The farmer says, the rancher, I should say, says, strange, isn't it? It sort of looks like a Pokemon, but it also sort of looks like some kind of writing. There have been numerous sightings in the city, but no one's been able to catch it. But now the Pokemon News has successfully caught it on film. That's the first step to studying it. Well, the cowgirl says, plus, by breaking this story, our small town newspaper will finally get the global recognition it deserves. And she continues throwing the paper all around. Platinum, looking at the paper, says, it looks like one of those symbol Pokemon called Unown. Height is 1 foot 8 inches. Weight is 11 pounds. Gender? Unknown. Shaped like ancient writing. It was first discovered in Johto's ruins of Alpha. While Chata repeats, it looks like. The rancher, with tears in his eyes, says, well, I'll be. All this time we thought it was unknown, but apparently some people know all about it. Well, the cowgirl says, Daddy. Platinum thinks, of course, I know all about it thanks to Professor Rowan. Pearl thinks, of course she knows all about it. She's a tour guide. Platinum says, are there any ruins nearby? It's quite possible that this unknown lives there. The cowgirl says, I'll do some research. The rancher then says, quick, write down every word those people said. We'll print it in our next issue. Well, the cowgirl says, okay, Daddy. The rancher says, call me editor-in-chief. Pearl says, what's with these newspaper people? Let's do a routine about them. Oh, God. And so, outside of the newspaper, they do their routine. Pearl saying, speaking of Pokemon. Diamond says, speaking of Pokemon. Pearl says, every Pokemon has a different nature. Diamond says, yep. Pokemon can be relaxed, serious, jolly, bashful, etc. I think that Gastrodon we just saw was weak. Pearl questions, what makes you say that? Diamond says, because it hangs around a weekly. Get it? Pearl hits the ground hard. Diamond says, I was only joking. Pearl says, yeah, I figured. Diamond says, natures are important because they can affect a Pokemon's strengths. Pearl says, a naughty nature means attack power will increase faster. Diamond says, a bold Pokemon means defense will improve quickly. And an instant nature makes them faster noodles. Pearl says, back to food again. God damn it. Pearl then says, well, that about wraps it up, right, Dia? Diamond says, yep. As he slurps down some noodles, we see their Pokemon just resting in a heap. I love that their Pokemon just kind of ignores them. And as Diamond and Pearl are hanging out around outside, what the heck? Pearl says, I wonder if Lady is still blabbing to those journalists. And sure enough, she is doing exactly just that, showing off information on the unknown to the rancher and the cowgirl. She says, and thus 28 different kinds are currently recognized. The rancher says, I see. I still wish I'd gotten a sharper photo. Maybe we'll get a better picture if we find one in its natural habitat in the ruins. Platinum says, perhaps so. As she looks out the window, Pearl saying, still at it? While Diamond says, hey, lady, with them not noticing the P&D unknown hanging out above their heads. Just, what are the odds? What are the odds? The rancher takes the information from Platinum saying, this is more than enough information to fill our next issue. Take this as a token of thanks for all your help. It's a ball capsule and seals. What? Ball capsule and seals? Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Platinum in a panic says, thank you. And she rushes outside and tells the two, hey, you two, look above you. And Diamond and Pearl finally notice the unknown hanging above their heads. They start freaking out, feeling like they're being chased by the two. Pearl saying, what are these unknown doing here? Platinum says, they're the ones from the picture. While the D unknown rests upon Diamond's head, he says, I don't know what's going on, but one thing's for sure. And as the P unknown starts rubbing up on Pearl, he says, they aren't dangerous. In fact, I think they kind of like us. Are we actually going to have someone catch the unknown for once? Because that's one thing that just keeps baffling me. All this time, no one's legit caught an unknown. But we've had plenty of unknown in the story. This is one of the few times the unknown haven't been confrontational in any capacity, or just weirdly mysterious. They're just kind of hanging out. Oh, what are they doing? They're like letting off some kind of sound? Pearl says, what's that? Feels like a vibration? Platinum says yes. Diamond says, they're creating some kind of wavelength. Diamond brings up his Pokedex that reads, unknown, symbol Pokemon. He uses telepathy to communicate with each other. He usually sticks to walls. That's very simple. Diamond says, according to my Pokedex, they communicate telepathically. Pearl says, so it's communicating long distances with others of its kind? They're talking about something, and I think they want us to understand. Yeah, the two unknown are trying to take Diamond and Pearl somewhere. Pearl questions, I think they want us to go with them. What should we do, lady? Platinum thinks to herself, those journalists are too busy with their next issue to notice. We best discover what they want on our own before sharing it with the press. Makes enough sense. Just in case it's something dangerous. She says to the others, was this their intention from the start? Maybe the camera scared them away from the town entrance. Diamond says, looks like it. Pearl questions, but where are they leading us and why? Only one way to find out. Follow them. And so as they're led by the T&D Unown through the forest of all things, Pearl says, is this the place Unown? They're led to a cave entrance. Pearl saying, let's go inside. Pearl then noticing smudging on the wall there. She races over saying, this is... Pearl questions, can you read it, lady? Platinum says, yes, there's still a spirited debate about it in the academic world, but these glyphs are thought to be connected to the unknown somehow. I can just make it out. The place is called the Solacion Ruin, the place where lives meet. That's what it says. The Solacion Ruin is because I know that when we first met Cynthia in the anime, she had read some writing by the Unown about Dialga and Palkia. Yeah, hold on. It said there, when every life meets another life, something will be born. Yeah, there we go. I still don't know what all that means. Oh, that was the end of the chapter. Okay. Interesting. Why would the Unown be drawn to them specifically, outside of their names starting with a D and a P? Alright, and the last chapter of this volume, as well as this video, is chapter 18, The Knowledge of the Unknown, part 2. Platinum looks around saying, this place is called the Solacion Ruin, the place where lives meet. Pearl looks around saying, I'm all for following the Unknown wherever they lead us, but Diamond says, how long are we going to have to keep going down these steep stairs? If we don't keep track of all the turns we've made, we'll never find our way back out. Yeah, it gets suck when you're trapped in one of these caves in these games. Pearl says, hey Dia, have you noticed that the Unown who's guiding us seemed kind of impatient and irritable? And the other one is kind of spacey and flaky? Diamond says, that's true. Maybe that's why they're drawn to each other. And Diamond narrates what the P is saying to the D. The P says, hey, are you listening? The D says, what? The P says, quit dawdling. The D says, but I'm lost. The P says, lost? Where are your eyes? Diamond says, right here. Get it? Oh, God. They're just Diamond and Pearl all over again. Platinum says, wow, you can understand Pokemon speech? Pearl says, you fell for that, lady? Well, Platinum says, look at these two Unown. One is Mr. Relax and the other is Mr. Hasty. Now, who do they remind me of? Right? Pearl says, they say each Unown has a unique nature and characteristics. Diamond says, no way. Hey, you two, check this out. As he points to a hole in the wall, and on the other side, more Unown. Oh, are they trapped? Pearl says, there's a whole bunch of Unown in the room behind this wall. And as the D and P Unown let off a signal, Diamond says, are they your friends? Pearl says, they must be the ones these two were telepathically communicating with. Platinum questions, are they trapped? The D and the P both nod. And Platinum says, now I see why they brought us here. Their friends got locked inside that room and they need our help to free them. Pearl says, that's easy. We'll just have our Pokemon break down that wall. Platinum tells them, wait, don't. That isn't the best way. These ruins are historic landmarks. We mustn't harm them. They belong in a museum. Pearl says, you're right. It'll take longer, but maybe we can find another passageway into the room. They make their way down some stairs, only for a giant boulder to just come down right behind them. Diamond says, run away, as they try their best to escape. See, that's how Diamond actually gets a move on when his life is on the line. They Indiana Jones their way down the stairs and just make a little turn in a corridor as the boulder moves past them with their resting up against a wall. Pearl says, boy, that was close. That was a close call, and the wall just suddenly swings. I think Monferno gets trapped on the other side, though, without them. I don't think they took Monferno. Pearl says, ouch, first a runaway giant boulder, now a secret swinging wall. It's pitch dark in here. Lady, are you there? Platinum says yes. Pearl calls out, Dia? Diamond says, yep, I'm here too. Pearl tells them, stick together. You can't risk getting separated. Huh? Shimler, where are you? Platinum says, Ponyta's missing too. Oh, they lost both Monferno and Ponyta. Dang. Pearl says, oh no, they got left behind on the other side of the wall, and without their fire, we can't see a thing in here. Right. They were both their way of illuminating their way. I didn't even think about that. The two Pokemon they needed most in this dark area. Pearl struggles against the wall, saying, what an awful time to lose them. Ugh. It's no use, the door won't budge from this side. What now, lady? He turns to Platinum, who thinks for a moment, and who says, we keep going, even if it means fumbling on in the dark. Yeah, I've had to do that in a few caves in the games too. That first message inscribed on the wall had directions, top right, lower left, and so forth. Naturally, I memorized them all. Jeez. Chata says, keep going, keep going. Platinum then brings in the Unown in a hug, saying, if we follow the directions carefully, we won't get lost. We can help the Unown and reunite with Monferno and Ponyta. Platinum takes a second and says, I'm game. Diamond says, me too. Pearl then says, but we'll be in big trouble if we get separated, so let's put our Pokemon away for now. Right. And it was good for being cautious and being at the ready for anything that happens, but you don't want to get separated from more of your Pokemon. And so they follow Platinum's instructions. Top right, they make their way up the stairs. Lower left, they make their way down a ladder. Top right, they make their way up a rocky cave. Top left, they make their way up some winding stairs. Top left, continue up. Lower left, they slide down a slope. Pearl then says, which way now, lady? Platinum says, the instructions end here. Diamond says, did we make it to the inner room? Pearl says, I doubt it. I don't sense that weird energy here. But, and the two Unown are still tugging on Diamond and Pearl. Diamond says, the Unown are all excited. I bet we're getting close. You must be almost there. Platinum says, is that true, Mr. Relax, Mr. Hasty? The final clue might be somewhere in this room. If only we had a light. Pearl says, that's been the problem since we got stuck in here. Do you have to keep bringing it up? Platinum says, I'm sorry. She thinks to herself, but how can we give up after getting this far? I want to keep going. Not just to learn about the Unown, but to discover the secret at the heart of these ruins. I love her inquisitive nature. It's just, I don't know, it's a very inspiring can-do attitude. As Platinum stumbles on the walls, searching, she says, she thinks to herself, I won't give up. I'll keep trying. But then she trips over a rock. Diamond grabs her, saying, careful, lady. But then embarrassed, he backs off. And I love the way the Unown is looking at him like, you sly dog. Diamond says, it's dangerous to climb in the dark. Platinum says, thank you. But did something fall off of Platinum? Because it goes clanking to the floor. Oh, it was a Pokeball containing Primplop. Oh, that's what it was. Primplop comes out of the Pokeball with letters spelling out friend. It's one of those specialized balls that's used to kind of show off during contests. I didn't even realize that's what that was. Little decorations and stuff. That's actually kind of cool. I never got to use any of these in-game or anything like that. And it's illuminating the whole area, which kind of blinds everyone. Pearl says, what is that? Diamond says, when Lady dropped her Pokeball. Platinum says, oh, my ball capsule and seals. Pearl questions, huh? Diamond says, the editor-in-chief at the Pokemon News gave it to me. It's a transparent capsule you put around your Pokeball. I knew this item would make something special happen when my Pokeball opened, but I had no idea what. Diamond says, wow, when your Pokeball opens, the seals on the capsule shine like I didn't know that. And Pearl comes over saying, let me see. Stop. This isn't a light show. We have to use it to find the next clue before it goes out. Diamond says, already looking, as everyone just goes scattering to the various different ends. Diamond over at a wall says, found it. Pearl says, way to go, Dia. What's it say? Platinum reads it saying, when every life meets another life, something is born. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's the usual word. So it's both in the game, also it is in the games. Interesting. Oh, suddenly the room starts rumbling open, freeing the Unown. Usually that's a bit of an intense thing when the Unown are freed, but this is a more joyous occasion. Pearl says it's opened. Diamond says the Unown's room unlocked. Platinum says those words must have been the key to opening the inner room. The torches are lighting up. Pearl says all the doors are opening now. And sure enough, here's Monferno and Ponyta. Monferno hugs Pearl while Ponyta nuzzles Platinum. Platinum says all those booby traps must have been set off to ward off intruders, and the Unown accidentally got caught in their own trap. Oh, The P unknown seems a little embarrassed. Pearl says, that's embarrassing. Glad we could help you out. Look, now that they're reunited, they're accepting us as friends. Guess they're really grateful for our help. Yeah, all the unknown are actually happy. And as they make their way back to town, they see newspapers fluttering about. The cowgirl running around town saying, extra, extra. Pearl says, they've already printed their next issue based off all that stuff Lady told him? Let's see. And he says, what the? They turned a comedy routine into a photo comic? And it's a gag. Pearl saying, sometimes we get steamed up. Diamond says, yep, I've got some right here. See, in my kettle. Pearl says, quit taking everything I say literally. Diamond says, oopsie. As he unleashes the steam on his face, Pearl says, I bet that wasn't good for your self-esteem. Oh my god. It's just freaking dad jokes. Pearl goes running after the cowgirl saying, you secretly took photos of us? The cowgirl says, oh no, now they're gonna sue us. All the ranger says, oh, hello there. As the cowgirl hides behind her father, the rancher says, thanks again for all your help. We'd be honored to escort you to the town gate. Platinum says, thank you. As they make their way, the rancher says, by the way, you three are awfully dirty. Did you find the ruins where the unknown lives? Platinum says, yes. You passed through this forest and then she pauses. The rancher says, did you just admit you found them? Platinum says, no. The rancher says, but I distinctly heard you say. Platinum says, no, I did not say that. The rancher says, you're withholding valuable information. Oh, the cowgirl says, are you going to sue them, Daddy? Oh, Platinum thinks to herself, some information is best kept confidential. She tells the others, come on, let's go. Time to head over to the next town. But they're being watched by those Diglett? Or Psyduck? They got the little hair dealies up ahead. I don't know why they'd be chased by maybe Psyduck? I think they're Psyduck. Well, the following day in Kanalov City at the Pokémon Academic Conference. Oh, hey, it's Professor Elm, and the little kid Joey is there with them. Hey, so they're still working together. So at the very least, we know this takes place after the Gold and Silver arc, which isn't really saying much. And that could be any point in time, honestly, where Professor Elm is telling the congregation. And so, that concludes our report on trainer activity and egg research. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, because the egg that was left was gold. As the audience claps, Rowan and Mr. Burletts make their way. Rowan says, we're up next. Shall we get ready? Mr. Burlett says, yes, let's, Professor Rowan. Rowan then says, is something the matter, Mr. Burletts? Mr. Burlett says, oh, Rowan says, are you still concerned about your daughter? Mr. Burlett says, you see right through me. I can't help worrying. Rowan says, naturally, I'm sure she's fine. After all, she has those bodyguards we hired to keep her safe. As they make their way, a receptionist says, or I don't know what you'd really call her. She says, would you like a copy of the Pokemon News? Rowan says, the newspapers from Solaceon Town? No, thank you. Even though they would... That tabloid runs the most preposterous stories. Mr. Burlett says, indeed. And as a woman accepts their entry, saying, thank you for coming this way to the podium, Rowan says, thank you, as they have just missed seeing Platinum in the paper. Oh my god. Yeah, that would be where that ends. Of course. This was fun, though. And I do hope that we team up with Taka and Uji towards the end of things, because, yeah, I feel like with their battle prowess, we could actually grow a lot in terms of ability with actually having them around, but naturally I feel like that'll happen a lot further down the line. But, man, I can't wait till they encounter Fantina again. There was just something about the way they interacted with her. It was very much like with Wallace, honestly. And I almost feel like Fantina could kind of be a bit of a mentor to Platinum. But maybe not. It's hard to say. I just like the way they got along. She looked after them like a bit of a big sister, and I like that relationship. But the Galactic bomb, that's worrying. Especially considering I don't really know too much about how Team Galactic really does things. I know how what ends up happening to Cyrus in the end, but even then, that's kind of like, I don't really know how much havoc they could wreak, because we've seen teams who didn't do as much destruction in the games do a lot of destruction in the manga. So Team Galactic out there just like, not to mention with what happened in the previous region in Hoenn, just an entire continent being ravaged. Like, dude, I'm kind of sad that the Unown didn't kind of go with them though, but I guess it is what it is. I do wonder though if maybe like the Lux Ray, the Unown will reappear again later down the line too. It is a bummer because we've gone yet another while without any of my favorite Pokemon from this generation coming through, which you'll see that I have less and less favorite Pokemon as it goes along until we get to about Generation 6, Generation 7. Not saying that there's no Pokemon that I really like, but it's the next generation that my favorite Pokemon from that generation are like my least favorite in terms of favorite Pokemon. So we're starting to kind of weed out some of the ones that I really like, which I kind of feel bad about saying it like that because I feel like I'm dissing the generations, which is kind of wild because I do think like there was a lot of cool stuff once you hit, like, no offense to X and to Diamond and Pearl, but I feel like that's where things started falling off. Black and White was at the bottom, despite the fact that Black and White seemed to have a lot of interesting concepts, but it was X and Y that seemed to like really start building back more of the interest, because I was interested once the X and Y anime came in, because that's where, man, the animation got like intense. Like, oh my god, if that's what the animation for the anime is like, I'm interested in the games too. And then I got back in with Sun and Moon. Love Sun and Moon. Oh man, I can't wait to get to Sun and Moon. I hope those arcs are good in the manga. And then Sword and Shield just had a lot of interesting themes, and I didn't play Scarlet and Violet. I want to play Scarlet and Violet, and maybe one day I might do it as a stream or something like that, but just aside from that, just I love the characteristics of our main characters. I guess the only downside is there's no rival character going on here, because everyone's traveling together. Anyone who would be a rival, we're all together, and we're not really competing against each other in any degree. So I think that's what takes some of the bite out of the storyline, but at the same time, I know this is the generation that had, what were they called? Riley and, what was her name? Yeah, this was the generation that had the stat trainers, right? You had Cheryl, Riley, Buck, Miria, and Marley. And I'm waiting for them to show up. Riley I'm interested in because of Sir Aaron from the Lucario movie. Cheryl, I didn't even realize they were actual NPCs in the game. I remember Miria the most because I remember her from the anime, and I remember seeing stuff for Riley and being like, oh man, those are cool characters. But I thought they were just characters of the week. I didn't realize, not to mention Cheryl had stuck around in the anime for a hot minute. I didn't realize they were actual like notable NPC characters. So I'm interested when we finally meet up with them, because I don't know, I just want to have these characters around and maybe get to know them. I hope they have roles to play in the actual manga, because they seem interesting. Cool designs, cool characters, and all that. I like how this trio interacts with others. You know, when they're playing off of others, that's the most interesting thing. And that really shined for me when it came to Fantina. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. And hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.